Hi from the trampoline today. If you see me bouncing at all, it's because I'm on the trampoline, and yes, I'm wearing the same shirt and I have the same hair as I did in another video because I'm doing a bunch of videos all in one day. Look at me being productive. I thought it'd be fun to do a kind of lighthearted video about weight loss, just more of a positive video. Not that my videos are negative, but I just thought it'd be fun, okay? I feel like this kind of feels like high school in a way, like where you get to do these fun like quizzes and stuff in Cosmopolitan, except this is not about sex, it's about weight loss. And I just want to talk about the fun side of weight loss, because there's definitely a lot of downsides to weight loss too, which, you know, maybe I can do in another video. I just want to talk about the things that I love about losing weight, especially going from a morbidly obese to overweight. Yeah, I'm out of the obesity category, which is great. Wow. I'm gonna have to beep that out. I'm actually kind of a potty mouth, and I try to hold it back for YouTube because YouTube doesn't like it, I guess. Okay, let's do this all. Like, I feel like a real YouTuber. I feel like I should have like nothing hanging there in this. I'm not doing this right. I should have like a really nice wall behind me with lights, you know? Okay, let's just do the flashy hands. Today's video, I'm gonna talk about the top 10 amazing, great things about losing 100 pounds. Number one, which makes me kind of come to tears every time, tears of joy, every time I get on an airplane and I do with my seatbelt and I see that there is excess seatbelt and that my rear end is not spilling over into the other seat. I just feel so proud, and it feels so good, because whenever I traveled at my heaviest, or anytime I was like in the morbidly obese category, pretty much until I got to the overweight category, my butt spilled over to the other seats, and I hated it. And I felt so bad that the person next to me had to put up with my leg, my butt, sticking against theirs, and like it gets hot, it heats up, and it's annoying. And I just felt like trying to make myself smaller the whole time, like squeezing my legs together and my shoulders together, trying to make myself smaller. It just was a huge source of stress for me and embarrassment, and I hated it. It's not a good feeling. It's not. It's embarrassing. And I'm just so glad to not have to deal with that anymore. And I'm just so proud when I look down and see that. It just feels so good to not have to worry about that anymore. And also, number two, that leads to public transit anxiety. So I used to live in Vancouver, Canada, and I'd take public transit to work, especially when I lived outside the city. I'd take the SkyTrain in and then the bus. And sometimes I'd just stand because I didn't want to have to put up with, I didn't want the person next to me to have to put up with me squishing them, you know, into taking up more space than I needed to, like taking up 1.5 seats. It just, or I would pick seats that had more room. Like, I knew the best seats on the bus and the SkyTrain, the best ones that would like hold my butt. If you sit in the middle at the back of the bus, most people will go around you because they want to sit by the windows. So at least I know like the seats beside me are not going to fill up until the bus gets really full. And they do kind of have a little more room because they got like a little more space between each seat. Yes, I was well aware of how much space was in between seats and how close some seats were because of this. And yeah, it's just nice to get on the bus, sit down. One of those things when I sit down, I'm just like smiling. It's like, it feels good to not like have my butt spilling over. And I hope that I'm not making anybody feel bad that's in that situation right now. I know how it feels, and all I can say is just try not to let it get you down, because letting things get you down doesn't really help the situation. Number three, clothing shopping is less stressful because I can go to any clothing store pretty much. Like, I can go to a department store, I can go to like the mall, and I can find stuff. Whereas before, at my heaviest, it was really hard to find clothes. I'd have to go to a specialty shop, a plus size shop, and going to discount stores was just kind of like pointless. Like here in Canada, we have Winners. Down in the US, it's like Ross. If you go to a place like that, there's like this, I don't know, maybe it's just in Canada, but the plus size section was like this big, and there's just slim pickings. I just like the ease of being able to just go any store. If I'm traveling and I forgot something, I know I can go anywhere and find something. Whereas before, just buying jeans was a huge chore. Like, hours, like days, just getting clothes that fit me well was very difficult. Number 4 is that everyday tasks are much easier. Going up and down stairs, walking my dogs, carrying groceries, it's a lot easier, and I'm not winded like I was before. Like just going up one little flight of stairs, it was just a lot of work, or just going up an incline. Carrying my own weight plus my groceries was a chore. Just doing everyday tasks is a lot harder when I was morbidly obese. This one I'm just kind of jokingly saying this, but like I feel like if I needed to, if I had to run away for something, I could climb over a fence now. You know, if I was being chased by coyotes or something, I don't know, I'm just making it up. I also bring this up because like 4 years ago around there, I did a Spartan race, and while I was really strong and fit, like I really worked on my fitness that year, I was still quite heavy, and it was still really hard to get over the walls and stuff and get over any kind of thing where you had to climb. Like I needed Superman strength. So one of the things that I thought of when I was doing that race was like, damn, I want to get most of my weight off now so that I can do this, come back and do this race and not be such a chore to get over the walls and stuff. Like I've seen like slimmer people just like bloop, just pop over it like nothing. And I know that you need fitness as well as, you know, a smaller body size. Those two things together, like that leads me to my next point is if there's a zombie apocalypse, I could run away from zombies now. Like I could probably run for a solid 2 minutes if I had to, because I'm not currently like training to run. I mean, 2 minutes of solid running if I had to for my life, to save my life, I could do it. Whereas before, I'd be lucky if I could even like run 10 feet. And the next thing is sort of clothing related, but I wanted to give this one its own category because it deserves it, and that is being able to buy cute bras. I know that's not the case for everybody that loses weight, but I'm very happy that part of my weight loss has been in this area because I do not like having big boobs. I don't. I've always thought boobs were stupid. I mean, great, they're mammary glands, they feed babies. But other than that, I don't feel like they serve much of a purpose. Like, it's nice to have some to feel feminine or whatever, but I like being able to buy bralettes. Like, hello, that was not a possibility at all back in the day to buy bralettes. And like, now I don't have to buy these bras that like, it's like strapping into a ride at Disneyland, you know? It's like lock and load. And number 8 is feeling more comfortable in a swimsuit, even though I am not close to my goal weight yet, whatever that is, but I'm not close to being lean yet. It does help. It helps a lot. I feel way more comfortable in a swimsuit. It's not like I stick out like a sore thumb on the beach or something. But I do want to say though, there was a moment in my weight loss journey where, like, for the longest time I decided I wasn't going to go to a beach until I lost all my weight. Like, I was basically waiting, like, nope, I'm not going to go on a beach honeymoon with my husband until I lose all my weight. And you know, when I was going through my self-love, you know, journey, I decided at one point, I said, you know what, there's no point waiting. It's just silly to hold back on doing the things you want to do because of not being where you want to be at right now. Like, if you love the beach and you are obese, go to the damn beach. Go. It might be uncomfortable, but you know, you might have some people looking at you, but if that's what you love, do it. And I had decided that I didn't want to wait until I got down to like a bikini body, and it just seemed like everything just aligned, because the minute I decided that, it's like I manifested something, because I went to go look online for cheap trips, and something that normally costs a lot of money I was able to get for a really good price. I never thought in a million years that I could ever go to Maui, and we had a good time. And I didn't have a bikini body, but I did it. So, but it does definitely make it a little bit easier it just feels more comfortable to be in a swimsuit, you know? Like, I just don't feel like I'm as self-conscious, even though I still am. I think everybody's self-conscious to a point in a swimsuit. I mean, you're almost naked. So, But overall, it is a little bit easier, and it's easier to shop for a swimsuit as well. There's a lot more variety and it's cheaper. You can just go to like a sale rack to some Bikini Village store or something and like get something cheap. And number 9 is increased self-esteem. And I wouldn't say it's just because of being smaller and physically like feeling more attractive or whatever. I think the big reason why the increase in self-esteem is the mere fact that I treated my body with respect, and more importantly, I followed through with what I set out to do. I feel like that's where the big self-esteem boost comes from, because you decided to do something and you accomplished it. Weight loss is not an easy thing, even if you got like the best plan in the world. Like even if you're eating whole foods plant-based and stuffing your face with potatoes like I do, it's, you know, it's easier than other diets out there and it's more sustainable, but it's still hard. It's still a very hard thing to do. So just accomplishing that, accomplishing something that's difficult is so rewarding. And I feel like that's where the self-esteem boost comes from. And last but not least is not being embarrassed to be in photos. I hid from the camera. That's why I don't have a lot of photos of me at my heaviest. Like I don't have any photos of me at my heaviest. Well, that's a lie. If I do, it's because I did like a selfie angle to hide it. But like a true photo of me at 260 pounds does not exist, like where you can really see my size. And I was just so embarrassed. I remember even when I had gained weight after college and I was in my friend's wedding, I think I was around 200 pounds, and she tagged me in all her wedding photos that I was in. And I was so embarrassed, I untagged myself. Little did I know that I was gonna gain even more weight, like 60 pounds. But you know what? I'm glad I went through what I did, because I learned how to love myself at a larger size, and I think it was just a really good thing for me to learn. And just to learn that like your self-worth isn't attached to your appearance or how you look. There's so much more to us than that. And I'm looking forward to see what's to come when I get to not overweight status. That would be fantastic. We'll see. We'll do an update video then. All right, thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.